Hi folks, it's Farmer Tom here. It's the 17th of February, the 17th day of our Cheese a Day challenge, and both Cheese 17 and our guest taster today hail from about 5 miles away from each other down in Cornwall. Well, I wonder who our guest could be. Well, I'll tell you that in 2009, she was awarded the MBE for services to the agriculture industry. In 2017, at the British Farming Awards, she was given the Outstanding Contribution to British Agriculture Award. And in 2019, at the Farmers Weekly Awards, she was honoured with the Lifetime Achievement Award for Sustainable Farming. And in the same year, the Women Economic Forum announced her in New Delhi, India, as one of the Women of the Decade. And she's not done yet. Of course, you know who we're talking about. She's your friend of mine. She's the Chief Executive of Leaf. She's Caroline Drummond. Welcome, Caroline. It's so great to have you tasting cheese with us today.
Oh, thank you, Tom. Lovely to see you, as always.
In the intro, I mentioned a couple of points. One is that you, I believe, in our currently mystery cheese, actually hail from a very close geographic range. So
we're literally 2 valleys away from where we are.
You can't get much more local than that. But Caroline, you won a Lifetime Achievement Award ages ago, and you've got another lifetime's worth of work that you're doing at the moment. So tell us a little bit about all the things you get involved with.
Well, I mean, I'm really honoured to have the job I do have. So yes, I have been running Leaf now for 30 years. Can't believe that time has gone so quickly. So I'm still young. But I mean, I think I'm one of those lucky people who have been in the job that I love and enjoy and work with wonderful farmers, people like you, and all the great work we do with Farmer Time, right through to obviously the activities of Mark and Open Farm Sunday and of course our wonderful demonstration farmers. So I think, as with anything, enjoyment in life comes from the people you meet and the people you work with, and that makes the journey so much easier. And we're on a mission to get more sustainable agriculture out there, but boy, everybody's aligned in the right direction now. So certainly here in the UK, we need to make it happen.
Yeah, gosh, you certainly are on a mission. And when we spoke with Janet Hughes last week, she said, I'm not here to make up the numbers. And I certainly get the impression that that's the case for you. You've done a huge amount for agriculture, a huge amount for sustainable agriculture in particular. And now I was very excited because a few months ago, I thought, I know somebody on the Food and Ag Commission. And you've, of course, become a part of that. And that's going to be a really key role in government and directing the food landscape and therefore the landscape in the future.
Yes, so the Trade and Ag Commission, it was a great honour to be a commissioner, and it's been a stint and a real sprint of that. So it was a time, sort of, I think it was 6 or 7 months, wonderfully chaired by Tim Smith. I have to say, you've got a lot of experience, a lot of different views around the table, and we had to come up with a report that actually went to the Secretary of State, Liz Truss, on the 12th, so really recently. And I think this, as we all know, it's a real turning point for the UK, and the real opportunities now lie ahead to make sure that we are ambitious, that we're smart, that we're collaborative, and make our domestic market work for us, as well as, of course, making our export and import market really, smart as well. So it has been a huge honour. So our time is done. There will be a new commission coming through. We don't know what that looks like yet. So the report will be out very soon, or the feedback from the Secretary of State will be there, I'm sure, over the next few months.
Brilliant. Well, I mean, what an exciting time in food and farming, and you are absolutely brilliant person to be having in that post. So good on you. Good work, Caroline. I often think of you. One of our I suppose local nature heroes around here for a long time was Lady Rothschild, who was reputed to have gone to a garden party at Buckingham Palace in her wellies. And I kind of think of you in the same way. You're operating in those levels, influencing at the kind of political level, and yet very much still having your feet on the ground.
I was helping out, obviously, on the farm. I'm good at driving the scraper tractor. That's my sort of weekend task, and moving feed and things like that.
So you've obviously got dairy farming in the family. So you'll be a competent cheese aficionado.
Well, I mean, to me, the 2 things that you cannot live without in life are obviously cheese, and my husband supplies into Saputo, so Davidstow, Cathedral City. but the other ones are broad beans actually. So yeah, for me it would be, you know, my ultimate two dream are cheese and broad beans.
Oh, amazing! Well, and do you where do you favour on the cheese front? Pre-tasting cheese number 17, of course.
Okay, pre-tasting this wonderful cheese that I'm sort of smelling the aroma here from the packaging. I guess it's Cathedral City all the way. But,
a great British staple. So
it is. Cheddar is great.
Yeah, I quite agree. Wonderful. Well, should we get into this cheese? I'll just get it open. Oh, look at it. Wow. Gosh. I tell you, just the smell coming off that.
The smell is amazing. Absolutely amazing.
It is. And you were telling me earlier, and I thought, wow, I'm sure it's a very nice smelling cheese. And now I'm getting that. That is amazing.
I mean, my husband went to go and get this cheese from our local butcher, Philip Warren's, down in Liscard, and he has come back with some wonderful looking meat as well. So never trust a husband to go shopping, though.
Good man. I think he should go more often. Let's have a little look at it. As you said, it smells.
It is smelling absolutely. Oh. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. So yes, I've got it on a piece of Cornish slate. I'll just have you know.
Oh wow! I'm not sure of the provenance of the bit of wood that I've got mine on, but I shall pretend it's of Cornish origin, because we're all Cornish men and women today for this Cornish Gouda. And I'm not sure I'm aware of. I'm sure there are some, but of any kind of English Gouda imitation. So this is this is great, and it actually satisfies my my insistence that any cheese from outside the UK can do, we can do as well, if not better, here in the UK. So yeah, it's this cheese won the best hard cheese at the Great British Cheese Awards. So it's got some caliber, and I think we should just get into it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So as you supply Cathedral City, we're competing for the second best cheese award, is this?
I love a hard cheese, and I think that's, to me, that, you know, that's what I'm really looking forward to this.
Oh wow,
that's really lovely. So mine's been outside the fridge for a few hours as well, because I think you always need that wonderful taste of a good cheese. But that's fantastic, isn't
it? I was expecting it to be good, and it's great.
Yeah, it's very buttery, creamy, smooth. Have you got the mature one there?
It is, and I'm reading it, on the website. It says it has a rich, complex flavour while still holding a great moisture level. Yes. But it says with a beautiful crunch from the crystals, which form at around 8 months.
Got some of those.
Lovely, isn't it? That is absolutely fantastic.
It's so smooth. Sometimes, you know, there are some of these cheeses that you always kind of feel a bit of a sharpness in your jawline. I don't know if it's just me that gets that, but if you get a really smooth cheese like this, it goes down a treat. That is wonderful.
And it's got an amazing combination in it. It's a really strong flavour, but it's not offensive in any way. That is incredibly pleasant. Wow.
So do you do, at this point, do you do then competition eating of cheeses to see who can finish off? Because this is really lovely.
To be fair, most times I've finished the cheese by the time we've had a kind of 10-minute conversation, and all I'm really doing is trying to distract you so that I can carry on. If I ask a really good question, you spend a 2 or 3 minutes answering it, I can really make a big dent on my cheese. So.
And I think the other thing, I mean, I think on so they're a Dutch family and they're farming in Llanreth, so it literally is. I mean, these are smaller valleys compared to wonderful Welsh valleys, but it's just about 2 valleys down from us. So it's, it's really good grazing area, lovely grassland. They've got Holstein Friesians as well. And, and I think their son came back to start this. Wow, the rest is history. They're often at a lot of the local shows, which sadly we're not having at the moment, but they certainly supply into local shops. And wow, yeah, I haven't had this for some time, and I regret it now.
Tremendous, isn't it? I mean, Patrick Holden spoke about the terroir of cheese, and it really is just amazing. I'm so delighted with that. What would you, tasting that now, Caroline? What would you pair that with?
So I just wonder whether we ought to be having pancakes,
Mm.
because it's a very good melting cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a good one. I think just grapes. I'm not a great biscuit eater with cheese. And for me, there's nothing more sort of fantastic than just having cheese and then obviously a good wine. I think they suggest the pairing with Pinot Gris or a rosé. So I think we've got a rosé upstairs in our fridge. So we have an upside down house. If anybody thinks
really?
we have a fridge in our bedroom, we don't. but yeah, no, I think if there's any left for Phil as well, we might finish this off with a bit of rosé or something like that as well.
Oh, yeah, I can really. I mean, it's amazing tasting through cheeses. I wouldn't have believed that there's such variety that they could take pairings with such a diverse range of drinks and other food.
You can get a cheese pasty, but I think that would ruin the purest of the cheeses like this. But it is a really tasty cheese. And I think the great thing about pasties was, people used to take them off to work, and if you had dirty hands from working in the mines or obviously in the fields, you'd throw that little bit that you were touching when you were eating your pasties, and you'd throw that away, and that went to the pixies. So that was always the great thing about a pasty.
It sounds like a very COVID secure way to consume your lunch.
Oh, it is, yes, yeah, and I know there's some wonderful online pasties being sold from Cornwall now, so that's good. But I think for me personally, a cheese like this has to be after the meal. I remember once getting told off by the wonderful Raymond Blanc because we ate our pudding before our cheeses at a dinner that we had. And so I guess, I don't know how the Dutch have their cheese, but for me, pudding needs to be just cheese. That would be my perfect, you have your main course and then cheese, or a lovely, fresh bread and a hunk of bread, and a cheese like this is perfect.
You set up Leaf 30 years ago. If you look forward another 30 years, Elms will be, well, hopefully they'll have ironed out any issues by then. the Ag Bill will be 30 years in the past, and we'll have a potentially a very, very different environment in farming in the UK. What would your vision for that be?
Well, in 2050, goodness me, the technology, our capability, that balance of nature and farming and new ways of how people eat, personalized prescriptions, personalized diets. I think, all of that will be in the mix. And I think, the bigger challenge is going to be kind of that stint now going forwards to the next 10 years, because we do need to make, fundamental change. And I think that's really exciting. But, we will always need farming. And we must really try and improve and build up the soil health and all the wonderful things that farmers now are doing in terms of really much stronger nature-based solutions, adopting, my little sort of mantra of integrated farm management, of course, being such a key part of being whole farm, practical, realistic, but embracing a new era of technology.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's a vision that I can certainly subscribe to. Brilliant. Well, the challenging question I'm going to ask you today is to put a number out of 10, and you may include decimals or fractions to this cheese. I'm still enjoying it. It's got that kind of it's a cheese that makes my mouth happy. It's got that little crunchiness to it, hasn't it? It's a great cheese. But Caroline, what
actually, that's a very good point, because the taste is consistent. It doesn't have a sort of an aftertaste, or it doesn't kick in at different stages. It's really smooth from that point of view. It would get a 10 from me. A lovely cheese. Yeah, no, this is good. This is really good.
It is. Gosh, well, I agree with you. I don't think one could want more from a cheese. Isn't that tremendous?
No, really lovely.
Well, I can't think of anyone I'd rather taste this delicious Cornish Gouda with, Caroline. Thank you so much.
Well, we look forward to you and Lisa coming down here and eating it for real down on the
That's right. We'll come down and we'll pop 2 valleys over.
Yes, go and see it.
and then bring it back. Yeah, that would be great.
That would be brilliant.
Well, you're certainly very lucky to live in. I mean, I love where I live, but you live in a beautiful part of the world. So
yeah, no,
yeah,
quite wet, but
yes, I can imagine. I can imagine. But I bet your daffodils are well out.
Primroses, daffodils, snowdrops nearly over.
Oh wow, gosh, yeah. You see, you're definitely a few weeks ahead of the rest of us. So yeah, your cows will be onto fresh grass pretty soon. Then.
Yes, they'll be out fairly soon, I think. Yeah, they would. I mean, the grass is starting to grow. It's warm.
Brilliant. Oh, Caroline, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No, thank you, Tom, and thank you for sharing this with me. What a treat, and well done with all the wonderful cheese stories you're really pushing forward. Thank you, Tom.
Oh, thanks.